Hey, Zeus in Houston, Texas. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and today I get to cut transitions gray lenses with Crizal anti-glare for one of the nicest Versace frames out there. It is the 2150Q, color 1341 in the 62 eye size. Let me take it all out of the original box that you will receive. Your Versace case, of course, your card of authenticity, international warranty, serial number, blah blah blah. I know what you want to see. The star of the show, the main attraction inside of this Italian leather Versace case. And hang on, I'll get to the star first. The opening act, your Versace cleaning cloth. Put all that back in there. Now this is the star of the show, the main attraction, the price of entry, what everyone came to see. Of course, it comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together while it is being shipped from Italy. And of course, I will put that on there when I ship to you in Italy, Texas. Okay, Houston, Texas. Take that off, but it's got the Medusa and all the icons around it. It's got the white leather with the Medusa on the front of the frame, the classic aviator shape. This is tough. This is tough. I love this frame. This is personally one of my favorite frames. So let me begin. And actually, because normally I would pop these lenses out, one of which has the Versace emblem on there, this one, and the matching serial number. Normally I would put this frame into the tracing element of my edger, but because this is very thin, it doesn't want to feel it. So I have programmed this into the computer. Let me just search for this. This is the Versace 2150. Search. And actually it's going to be here at the very bottom. The 2150Q. That is it. That is the shape that we'll be cutting. That is the shape of the lens. That green outline, I'm going to move it on to the next screen. Your pupillary distance is 71 divided by 2 is 35.5. So I'm going to tap that in there, 35.5. And we'll move the optical center height up in just a moment. We're going to see how that works. Let's come down here to the lensometer. Your right eye reads +1/4 -1 1/4 at 165. This one +1/4 -1 1/4 at 165. It was already on there from the last one I did. How about that? I love it when that happens. Let me go ahead and take the lens out of the protective sleeve. It comes with a little laminate on the front of the lens to protect the lens from something rubbing on it during shipping. Of course, I'm going to put the power drum on +1/4. Rotate the lens until the spherical component comes in clearly. Check the astigmatism correction, which I'll explain in just a little bit. Then I'm going to put 3 dots on the lenses. And one of them never wants to show up, so I'm going to put that over there. And this is the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the unright lens. -50, -50, -50, -50 at 180. We're going to turn the fine-tune knob for your astigmatism to 180, which will be played by the part of 0 in today's performance. Pull the laminate away. Put the power drum on -50. Put the lens in, rotate until the spherical component comes in clearly. Check the astigmatism correction. And then, let's see here. Put that on there, and actually, you know what? I only need that 1 dot, and this is the left lens. If you guys missed any of that, let me recap. Alright, so I need to attach, this is a block, or as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. I need to attach these to your lens while it is cutting, so I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which the last 2 of my 3. Nah, don't worry, so I can only cut 1 more lens today. Wouldn't that be great? And then I can go home. It's going to be 70 degrees here in my hometown. What a great day, great spring that's finally here. So the black side is the sticky side, so I'm going to line this up on the first block. Do the same thing now for the second one. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet that's on there. And I do want to check one thing. That is looking, oops, hang on, that's not that. That is looking good. Line everything up where it's supposed to go. And those dots out, the blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Your eye is just above that in inset. So we're getting everything lined up. Again, I want to check one thing. That's looking good. We're going to keep the optical center height exactly where it is. We're going to hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place a block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the unright lens. Just like me, I ain't right either. Pull the paperweight to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet. Now the pupillary distance has been transferred from the right to the left. And we're going to get everything lined up again. Make sure the lens is large enough to fit. And it is. Get everything lined up perfectly. It barely fits. Barely, but that's good. That's a good thing. Hit the button. The arm comes down, places the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter, and then you can cut your own lenses at home, and you won't need this guy with the two thumbs and the bad jokes to do it for you. So the actual cutting wheel, or my stylus, is this diamond crusted wheel that's going to grind away your lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center is going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let's go ahead and wake up the computer. Excuse me. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that, but we're going to stick with the safe and best lens possible, which is the polycarbonate in my opinion. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it's not going to be seen. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. Press that on there firmly. Now the magnet's going to do its job a second time today. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. I know, you've heard it before, you're going to hear it again. I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is starred in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by two white styluses, making sure the lens is large enough to fit into the frame, which it barely is in a large frame like this. And you can see that old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which in this frame with your prescription you're hardly going to have any. Even in a thin metal frame, the worst shape for edge thickness is a large frame, a large metal frame, a large skinny metal frame on top of that, but you shouldn't really have any in this frame. So if you see light flickering in the background, that is water there to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off the cutting wheel. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. Now water will spray onto the lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle just to wash away any optical debris that you see beginning to form on the edge of the lenses. Now your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. These are the Essilor brand of Transition Signature 7 lenses. Polycarbonate goes by the nickname of Airwear because Essilor feels these are light as air. Again, Transition Signature 7, GY for gray. Now, polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. Polycarbonate is also a high-impact ballistics grade lens. It's the same lens material our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes. It's also the same material that OSHA has everyone doing their safety glasses so that nothing can penetrate this lens and injure your eye. But it has more forms of protection than that. It also has 100% UVA and UVB protection. Unlike the sun's harmful, your eye is 8 times more sensitive than your eyes. Let's try this again. Why am I not awake this morning? Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So this has permanent sunscreen, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun. This is permanent and never needs to be reapplied, which you get a lot of sun there in Houston, Texas. So if you notice your lens a moment ago was completely flat, just like a nickel, I could take it out and it would stand up on the counter. Now it's getting the V-shaped bevel to stay inside the bevel of the frame. Now, you also have the Crizal anti-glare coating. Crizal is 3 features in one. It eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights, and such. The other thing is that it goes by the initials ARC, which means anti-reflective coating. So someone's not looking at their reflection in your glasses when they're talking to you, so it makes for much better eye contact. Plus, if someone takes a picture with a flash, or if you take a selfie, you won't see the reflection in the glasses. Now, the third feature that I like, which is the practical side, it comes with the industry's hardest scratch coating. The machine that applies the Crizal anti-glare costs well over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and investment. So the safety bevel is being applied to the rear surface of the lens. We're just about done. I will open the door with my mind. You like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes me a couple hours, but I can do it. So I'm going to dry the lens off. See something I want to clean there. Run my thumbnail around the edge of the lens. Now I have a tray here for this time because I need my Phillips head screwdriver. I'm going to go lefty-loosey to loosen the eye wire screw. Hopefully not taking it out all the way, and then I'm going to pop your unbreakable lens into the frame. So if anyone else needs to ever change the lenses in a frame like this, in a metal frame, this one actually requires a Phillips head screwdriver, just a small Phillips head. But some frames need a flathead. But for what I do for metal frames, I loosen them. Now I could take it all the way out, but I don't want to do that. I want to keep the screw in there just a little bit because of the odds of someone at home dropping a screw. I even do it here, so it happens in real life. But you can get a baking dish or a large pan or something like that, a box. Put a t-shirt in it. I'm using a paper towel so I don't have to take my shirt off, because nobody wants to see that. And I've loosened it just enough that I can, and I hold the screw head up. I don't do it like this where the screw could fall out. The reason why I put something soft underneath is if the screw falls out, I don't want it to bounce and then take off. A t-shirt in a baking pan will absorb the blow. But again, with the frame upside down, I tuck the lens in the outside corner and then push it in. It snaps right in. After that's done, I'm going to tighten the screw back. And we are good to go. That is in there snug. So let's go ahead and take the left lens, flip that over to L. I'm going to press that on there firmly, place the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby. Hit start just like before the door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, just like before, making sure the lens is large enough to fit, which it barely is. But you can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the lens. And just like before, it's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. And if I could find my flashlight, come here flashlight. Oh, it was over here the whole time. No edge thickness whatsoever. How about that? That is looking good. And can we give a shout out to the Medusa right there? Now I also get a lot of requests for white frames in the summertime because people go to whiteout parties. They wear a lot of white in the summer, especially in Houston. But people dress in all white, from the Air Force Ones to the white Nike hat. And so this is a white frame you can still get. So I pop the block off, dry that off, add the sticker to my collection here. We're going to come down to the lensometer. I'm going to measure your prescription right in front of that black dot, which will be right in front of your pupil. Turn the fine tune knob back to 165. Check the power, and I am getting, if I can find my flashlight, +1/4, 1 tick mark away from 0. That's because the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. And this is interesting. You are farsighted in your right eye, but nearsighted in your left, which does happen. You're only 3 steps apart, which is fairly common. You're so close to 0, which we in the industry call Plano, which you in Houston call a city in Texas. But you need 1 step of magnification in your right eye. That is why there's a plus sign. Now you need 5 steps of astigmatism correction. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. You don't freak out when you hear that. But for some reason, everyone freaks out over the word astigmatism. It just means you have 2 curves on your eye. You have 1 far-sided curve going this way, and then you have another 5 steps of correction for your astigmatism going this way, and it's how you line up those 2 curves to make everything nice and crisp. Uncorrected astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F, so it's like the fine-tune knob, and we just turn that fine-tune knob to 165, 0 over here, 90 in the center, 180 all the way. We're just going to turn that fine-tune knob to 165. Now your left eye, you need 2 steps of nearsighted correction. With your glasses off, everything is much too large in your left eye, so that's why there's a minus sign. It will minify down to the correct size, but then you only have 2 steps of astigmatism correction in your left eye, and the fine-tune knob is at 180. But let's check plus a quarter minus 1 1/4 will give me -1 at the very end. I'm going to check your astigmatism correction, and we're at -1, dead on. So that is perfect. Come back down here. Go ahead and put the frame there, since we know we'll be doing that soon. So out comes the lever. At the end of that lever is a spinning wheel, something you would find on the end of a Dremel tool, and that's what's applying the safety bevel to the back surface of the frame. Should any portion of this lens protrude from the back of the frame and come into contact with your cheek, it'll be nice and smooth. Now this frame costs $280. The transitions, you get free prescription lenses with the purchase of any frame. The transitions adds $59.99. I just had a price increase, so I had to pass that along of $5. The anti-glare coating costs $49.99. Again, due to price increases, I had to go up by $5 on that. But to get a Versace frame with Transitions Essilor Signature 7 lenses with Crizal anti-glare for a total of $389.98, I still think that is a great bargain in today's world. So you are going to be getting the original packets. In fact, let me, before I go any further, I forgot to do that. Your right eye, plus a quarter minus 1 1/4, just so you know you're getting the original packaging and it's real. You will see my handwriting when you receive this, plus a quarter minus 1 1/4. The Essilor Airwear Transition Signature 7 gray lenses. Your left eye -50, -50 at 180, -50, -50. And this is your right lens. This is the left lens. You are going to be receiving these original packets so you can verify that you're getting the real deal. So, come back down here. A little bit of lefty-loosey, remembering to keep the frame upside down. Loosen it just enough, but don't let the screw come all the way out. Tuck it in at the outside corner. Go around gently and press into the frame. The screw came all the way out, but I was ready for you. It did not pop out. So I'm going to put my thumb on there, make sure the lens is in there everywhere. That is good. Keeping my finger pressed down so to clamp everything together. Use my Phillips head. I'm going to do a little bit of righty-tighty. Now this is, every optician would tell you this is a terrible thing because if the screwdriver slips, you're going to stab yourself in the finger. Every optician has a callus right there from that happening. So I'm going to come down here. I've got a little rubber mat on the edge of the counter. And I'm going to put your frame against that. Anyone else can use the corner of a table like that. I do it just to protect the finish of your frame. And let's get the screwdriver away from those. And that is in there perfectly. And again, no edge thickness for you, even in a large metal frame. How about that? So I'm going to take this block off, pull the sticker away, dry that off, throw that in, get ready to use next time. Stick the sticker on my collection. Come down here above that black dot. We're going to turn your astigmatism fine-tune knob to 180, which is also 0. And check the power, and I am getting, this flashlight keeps running away, -50, exactly halfway between 0 and 1. -50 plus -50. If someone owed you 50 cents and they borrowed another 50 cents, they would owe you $1. Let me check your astigmatism. We end up at -1 again perfectly. So I couldn't have done a better job if I had done this myself. Your pupillary distance is 71 for both eyes. When I turn the card around, I'm going to place the PD stick against my thumb on your right lens. And then when we check on the left lens, we're getting 71, so that is cut perfectly. I want to, well, this is the portion in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned that there's free shipping anywhere in the U.S. And Houston, Texas is in the U.S., so you get free shipping. But when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as the 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I take mine off and press down, and they wobble on the counter. But they sit level on me. For those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the Ray-Ban 2132 New Wayfarer in color 789 which is the blue-orange. The 789 is also the punchline to one of my favorite kids jokes, Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because of 789. It's also a punchline to one of my favorite adult jokes, Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7 is a registered 6 offender. Okay, no, all right, I'll stop with that. I'll stop. So, flip it over, press down, there is no wobble, close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, that neither temple is askew. Same amount of tension on each hinge. Now, I send out a selfie request to have your picture on the website. Hey, Zeus in Houston, please do that for me. I would love to have your picture on the website. I also send out cleaning instructions, not only how to care for your frame and your lenses, so they will last you for years, but your case, the cleaning cloth that I'll provide, your Crizal cleaning cloth, your Versace cleaning cloth, I give you instructions on how to care for those, so those too will last you for years. I field test every cleaning cloth to make sure that it works, so when you get these in the mail and you see there's a wrinkle in it, don't tell me you can't clean your lenses with this, because I know it works. So this is what your lenses look like while they are still clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them in the transitions portion, essentially expose them to a strong burst of UV light. Put these in here. And as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside. 45 seconds to roughly about a minute 15 to return back to virtually clear. Now, hey Zeus, this is important. Pay attention. All transition lenses will turn dark on day 1. They're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks they're exposed to the sun. After that, they will reach their final color and they will work for years at maximum performance. The only time transition signature 7 lenses don't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet light that would cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day, and that's why they don't turn dark in a car. Now, they're also temperature sensitive, meaning they will turn darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody likes to work 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. Of course, in Houston, that is a real concern, because I know it gets hot as all get out down there. So that is what they look like the first time they've been activated. Don't worry, they're going to keep getting darker and darker. Come on, Jesus, we talked about that. Don't you remember? This is what the frame looks like the first time they've been activated. This is tough. They will get as dark as this, don't you worry. So if you've liked what you've seen, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com. You can follow me on Twitter at freerxlenses. As I run my mouth, these are going to turn back to virtually clear. And if you have any questions, you can email me directly at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com, because some people have said they've tried to contact me through the contact page on the website and couldn't get through. So my direct email, freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. You can also reach me with a question or a comment in the comment section below here on the YouTube channel. But that is it. So hey, Zeus in Houston, Texas, I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut transitions gray lenses with Crizal anti-glare for the Versace 2150Q color 1341, which is the white and gold, and the 62 eye size. And hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.